Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bosch. The number of clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Bosch Clean Diesel. Good, clean, fun. Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems. Improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by the 2013 Hyundai Sonata. Learn more at HyundaiSonata.com.
Hello and welcome to Autoline Daily. I'm Andrew Justice, wishing everybody a happy and safe Friday the 13th. Let's see if there are any black cats roaming the auto industry today. The head of General Motors European operations, Karl-Friedrich Stracke, just stepped down from his position and will be replaced by the current chairman of the Opel Supervisory Board and GM Vice Chairman, Steve Girsky. Stracke will take on a different role at the company and report to CEO Dan Akerson. Bloomberg reports GM leadership was unhappy with the turnaround effort by Stracke, even though he only started his position at the beginning of the year. Since 1999, GM has lost over $16 billion in Europe. And speaking of struggling automakers in Europe, Mitsubishi just sold its NedCar plant in the Netherlands to bus maker VDL Group for €1. Yep, you heard me correctly, €1. According to Reuters, the automaker agreed to such an outrageously low sales price since VDL won't lay off any of the 1,500 employees. Mitsubishi expects to lose over $350 million on the deal. The plant, which builds the Colt subcompact and the Outlander, has a capacity of 200,000 units but was only building 50,000 cars a year. The company says it will now focus on expanding production in emerging markets. We've got the numbers to share on the upcoming Ford Focus ST. Not long ago, the company released pricing and horsepower figures. Today, it's fuel economy. As a refresher, this high-powered hatch delivers 252 ponies and 270 pound-feet of torque from a 2-liter EcoBoost engine. On the consumption front, it should deliver 23 miles per gallon in the city and 32 on the highway, averaging 26 in mixed driving. That trumps its chief rivals, including the Volkswagen GTI and Mazda Speed 3. Although some would say it's the swindling department that's the moneymaker for car dealerships, the Detroit News says dealers are increasingly reliant on the service department to bring in cash. Stores across the country took in nearly $81 billion last year fixing cars. That figure comes from the National Auto Dealers Association. Meanwhile, Fiat's global revenue for 2010 was only $75 billion for making cars. Dealers are also looking to provide more competitive service, doing more regular jobs like oil changes to bring more customers through those garage doors, and staying open on Saturday in an effort to compete with independent shops. Now, we all know distracted driving is a bad thing, but cell phones and in-car electronics aren't the only culprits. Opening the glove box or looking out the window can be just as dangerous. And you can soon add another hazard to that list: making coffee. Yes, the folks at Fiat are poised to introduce the world's first production car with an honest-to-goodness espresso machine that heats, brews, and dispenses. The new Fiat 500L will feature the optional Java maker, which mounts between the front seats. Coffee cups, a spoon holder, and a sugar dispenser complete the kit. I wish I was making this up. Fiat's coffee experience is expected to cost about €250 or about $300, and this has lawsuit written all over it. Someone call Ralph Nader, please, because this sounds unsafe at any speed. Well, it's Friday, and that means one thing: a preview of this week's episode of Autoline is coming your way.
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
John McElroy sits down with Ralph Gilles, the president and CEO of Chrysler's SRT brand, as well as the company's senior vice president of design. He's also joined in studio by Scott Burgess of AOL Autos and Chris Pockert from Autoblog. In the following clip, they discuss the latest version of the company's performance flagship.
As you mentioned, the original Viper was all hairy knuckles, kind of a crude car, a lot of fun to drive. I'm wondering, with the new one, do you lose some of the old buyers? Do you attract new ones? Where do you see it going?
So far, there's a few that what we're doing with the new cars, we're offering it up in a somewhat raw state. So you can buy the car without a lot of the details to try to appeal to that customer. But a lot of our owner base has actually gotten more mature over time. They're
That
a lot
means older.
I'm not going to say that. But talking to them, they're saying, you know what, I think I could use cruise control. Yeah, I don't mind having, a better
stability control.
And that's mandatory. I have no choice. But what we did do is, if we're going to have stability control, it's going to be multi-mode. It's going to be the SRT way. So it's very passive. And we spent over 3 years working on stability controls. The first thing, Sergio, way back when the program wasn't even approved yet, we said, look, we need a little money to get the stability control because it takes a long time to develop that very well. So we did that, and that has paid dividends. The car, driving the prototypes, oh my God, I'm a racer, and it's so passive. You can take the car to a limit. If you know what you're doing, it can tell you know what you're doing, and it leaves you alone. If it can tell you're erratic or you have issues, it's there to help you out. So most drivers won't even know it's there, and that's the way a stability control should be done. So we've tried to take modern technology and blend it and keep the cars, as you said, the essence of the car intact. And as people discover, they'll be like, how did they do it? And that's, even myself, I'm kissing my engineers. How did you do that? How did you keep the visceral side and add the technology all in one car? It's just, and that's how you make legend cars. Yeah.
So does that open it up to more buyers?
I think so.
Now, you guys have been selling, what, about 2,000 a year? Do you think it's...
No, on average, over the years, 1,600 a year.
1,600, okay.
Yeah.
Where
peak year, if we've been over 2,000 on peak years,
okay,
back in 03 when we launched it. I think we can go either way. The business case is very good in the mid-thousands, I'll put it that way, 1,500-ish area. But with capacity, we can do well over 2,000 if we need to. What's different this time around, the car's been engineered to be international. So we have European consumption, Middle East, it does very well there. Dubai is a great market for supercars, places like that. So we're prepared. Now the car has, the other thing we've done at launch, we're going to have a lot of colors, a lot of configurability, a lot of models, so the car can be almost custom ordered. You could conceivably have one of one out of 2,000 cars if you did your homework. So that, to me, is very exciting.
And that's kind of Sergio's way, right? Offer up a full menu, let the customer choose.
Exactly.
As always, you can watch the entire episode of Autoline This Week on our website, autoline.tv. Check it out. Also today, the Autoline Network has another Roundabout show in the offing. Tonight, the crew will discuss a new pair of smart headlights that can dodge those pesky raindrops. Plus, we'll have an all-new segment with our safety advocate, Donald Bloomberry. Everything kicks off live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time with Michelle Naranjo from Auto Bytel and Josh Lewis from Raw Autos. Where can you find it? Why, Autoline.tv, of course. Anyway, that's all for today's report. I'm Andrew Justice. Thanks for stopping by.
Ward's is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details, and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.